So how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yes, just delighted it's the start of a new week. It's always a good to start a new week full of possibilities. The sun is shining. So what more could you want?
Absolutely, absolutely. So for those who don't kind of know you, I've known you, I was saying before, for about a year, probably almost a year and a half now through Fusion BizBase. But if you could tell us a little bit about your background and I guess how you've come to be where you are at the moment with your entrepreneurial journey.
Okay, sure. So basically, for those of you who can't tell, I'm from Ireland originally. So Dublin is my hometown, but I've been in Australia for 10 years now. So my marketing career started all the way back in 2000 or 2001, I think it was. So I worked in corporate marketing for about 16 years. And then I had a baby at the age of 40 and took a year off from corporate because I had the luxury then. I was in corporate, so I could take a year off on maternity leave. And then I went back to work just 3 days a week at the Australian Institute of Fitness. And then I was made redundant. So at that stage, I've worked for kind of Coca-Cola, Nestle, BP, Cadbury, and then over here I'd worked for Mortgage Choice and GE Finance, places like that. So I had a lot of experience and I was sick of the corporate world at that stage. And I think when you have a baby, as all the mums out there know, things change and you're like, oh my God, I'm sick of working for someone else. There's got to be more to life than this. And plus, I don't know how you would work corporate hours with a young child anyhow, especially when, they're sick and things like that. At least with a business, you have a bit of flexibility. So that was Christmas 2016. I was made redundant and I was really happy to be made redundant. I didn't get a payout or anything because I was only a contractor. But then at the time I had a part-time personal training business. So I just cranked that up for about 3 months and thought that was what I was going to build as my full-time business. But having a very young child and doing PT hours was not conducive. So I was kind of really tired. And plus you kind of have a dead spot in the middle of the day as a PT anyway. People want to get trained, first thing in the morning or last thing in the evening, not really during the day. So then what happened was I started working part-time for a marketing consultant and I was just doing 10 hours a day, which was during the day, still doing my PTing. And I worked for her for 2 months, so just doing about 10 hours a week. And then she decided she didn't want to have a business anymore. So she went back to work full-time and asked me, did I want to take over the business? So I basically said yes, and rebranded the business and repositioned it. And she was kind of looking after a different type of client. And then I launched Vivacity Marketing in July 2017. So I'm just 2 years in business.
Amazing. And so fortunate to have that opportunity kind of almost fall into your lap, obviously.
It did fall in my lap,
right time, right place, and the right people, but an amazing opportunity to kind of put something to the side, but also take on something new as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what kind of clients do you currently work with?
So mainly professional services, health, wellness, beauty, finance and travel. But I've also taken on some FMCG and alcohol brands. So FMCG is fast moving consumer goods, which I guess comes from my background in Coke and Nestle and BP. And that's so but mainly a lot of professional services kind of clients. But in my coaching side business, it's kind of everybody and anybody, because I've got an online program. So it doesn't really matter what your business is. I can work with you there.
Of course. And I know that you obviously have a young daughter. We bond a lot over the antics that our little women in our lives get up to.
Yeah.
What does a typical day look like for you? I know you fit a lot into your days. Yeah. I work with you quite a bit, so I know how busy you are and the kind of pace that you work at. So what does a normal day kind of look like to you? Do you have any routines?
Yeah, I do indeed. So of course, I still wake up early because I was a personal trainer for 10 years. So I'm just programmed to be up early in the morning, and I am a morning person. So when I first wake up in the morning, my daughter is sleeping later now, which is great. But she used to be like a 4:30, 5 a.m. riser, but now she sleeps until 6, which is great. So I tend to wake up and I'll do a guided meditation first thing in the morning, just to slowly wake myself up. And then I read. I've discovered this amazing app called Blinkist, where it basically summarizes books. Oh my God, it's $17 a month, I think it is, but it basically summarizes books into blinks. So I listen to a book a morning because I don't have time to read or listen to long audiobooks. So I'm like, when I found it, I was like, this is the best thing ever. So it's called Blinkist, Blinkist. So download it and it summarizes all these books. So I'll read a book in 10 blinks in the morning, and then I get up and I get my daughter her breakfast, and then I exercise at home. So luckily my PT skills, I can train myself, and then I get her organized for school. We get washed, we get out the door, and there's that whole mad dash in the morning. And then normally I go out and do client meetings or have work myself, and then I've got to be back to pick her up in the evenings. But then I'll always get out and do exercise with her again in the evening. So take her out on her bike ride or whatever, wind her down before bed, get her to bed. And I try not to work in the evenings if I can avoid it. So I'm really productive in the middle of the day in those school hours between 9 and 3. And I power through my work then, because I think when you're put under a timeline like that, you kind of have to get the work done. And I tend to time block my work time. So, and I'm jumping ahead probably to the next question, but in my Google Calendar, what I tend to do is I'll block out the activities that I need to do that day. And normally I only do about 3 big activities. And I literally turn off my emails, put my phone in airplane mode, and I do those. I power through those tasks I've got to do. So whether it be client work or working on my own business, I'll only check my emails 3 times a day probably. So morning, around lunchtime, and evening time. I try not to get on social media kind of till after school drop off. The weekends probably get on a bit more, but just because otherwise you get down the rabbit hole of, oh, look what they commented and la la la, you know. And I kind of want to keep my brain fresh starting the day. So yeah, the time blocking really works. And then try not to kind of do some work late in the evenings. If I have to do work, I tend to do on the weekend, because I am a morning person more so than an evening person. So I really struggle to be productive or creative at really late at night. My brain just is foggy. Yeah. And then the last thing I do before I go to bed is I do a guided meditation to fall asleep, because I've got a very busy brain, so I need to slow it down some way.
Amazing. It sounds like you've got a really good kind of balance of kind of exercise time, brain time, the meditation stuff, time with Callie, you know, all of that kind of stuff is so important. I'm trying to do more kind of time blocking, but I find that I get very easily distracted by other work, not necessarily by distractions, but I just kind of go, oh, I'll jump to that. Oh, I'll just quickly do that. No, I've got to focus. Yeah, it's so hard.
That's it. It is hard.
Now I know.
That's a perfect day. I don't say that always happens now.
Exactly. I will say that since I started meditating, which wasn't that long ago, and I'm only doing kind of 10-minute bursts at a time. I think I'm on about 35 days straight, and I'm like, I can't. Wow. A, I don't want to break the streak, and B, I really feel like it's making a huge difference. Like it's exactly what everyone says. They say, oh, well, you know, meditation will change your life, and I'm like, ooh, I can't wait. But it's actually, it very slowly does. You start to see those shifts, and it's really exciting. It's amazing.
So are you doing guided meditation or just meditating yourself?
No. Well, it's through an app. So the app that I've been using is One Giant Mind, but it's like a mantra-based technique, and you can choose how long you've got to do it. Normally, I just go, I've got 10 minutes, I'm going to fit it in here, usually before school pickup. Then I'm like, okay.
The calm before the storm.
Exactly. Now, I know obviously you specialize in digital marketing. So from a coaching perspective, as well as kind of more done for you agency kind of service model. Yeah. What are some of your favorite, I guess, hacks and kind of digi tips that you either use for your own business or that you kind of encourage your clients to use?
Well, I think that Google is a really underutilized resource. So I'm always amazed by my coaching clients who don't know what Google My Business is. And I'm always banging on about this and doing videos and blogs about it. So basically, for those of you who are watching who don't know what it is, so Google My Business is a free listing that you can claim on Google. It gives you extra real estate. So if somebody's searching for your business name or your type of business in Google, it's all this big extra area you get on the right hand side on a desktop, or on it's linked to your Maps listing if you're viewing on mobile. And basically you can put in things like your opening hours, what services you offer, the locations you service. You can post photos, you can share specials, you can post, you know, blogs, videos, all that type of stuff, and nobody really knows about it and nobody is setting it up. So my advice to you is claim it. It's free, and set it up. It's where you also get your Google reviews, and that's a key ranking factor on Google as well. So the combo that I'm using myself and has worked well in a lot of businesses I work with is Google Ads and focusing on local SEO through Google My Business. Just those two. Yeah. Because think about it, when anyone's looking for an answer to anything, they go to Google. And I guess what I see a lot of small business owners doing is they focus on social media first, because social media is easy and it's fun and it's beautiful and it's interactive and it's what you know from your, you know, your personal use. But there's so many small businesses missing out on massive opportunities over on Google. Like I look at even my competitors online, I'm like, why do they not have loads of Google reviews? You know, I just ask everybody for Google reviews. I'm shameless, and just hopefully they say yes. And then if they don't, I follow up with an email, you know. And then I post probably once a week, one post a week to my Google My Business page, and then I share photos probably once a week as well. So that I'm really visible then, and there's a lot of content that's going out there. And then the link obviously then to your Google Maps listing. So if you've got a physical premises, people can find, you know, if they're searching for a marketing consultant near me, I'm going to come up if I'm close to their area. And the last 2 clients who found me online for marketing strategy have found me, they live close to where I work out of. So it works. So
amazing.
Get on Google My Business.
I do agree that I think after kind of Google Plus just kind of
disappeared
fell by the wayside, everyone kind of thought, oh good, we don't need to worry about Google anymore. And it is a huge opportunity that's being missed, particularly for locations that have a physical presence, like a shop front or a physical location that people can visit. It absolutely bumps you up.
Hairdressers, beauty salons, barbers, all that stuff, and the people who, which is such a competitive environment. It's like, get on Google, get your reviews.
Yes, and it's 100% free, and you can repurpose the content that you're already posting to your blog. You can just repurpose that. It takes a few minutes. It's really kind of quick and easy, and then they send you those analytics there, which obviously I love.
Yes,
saying,
exactly.
How many people found me, and how did they find me, and that type of thing.
What device are they using? It tells, gets into that level of detail. Are they on mobile? Are they on desktop? Because the other thing as well is that Google really focus on is how your website looks on mobile, and the mobile speed, which will be the death of me at the moment because it's affecting so many client websites. They keep changing
a lot.
And it's like, how can I improve our mobile speed? But I can't remember where I was going at that point. So sorry, if someone's checking your website all the time from mobile, then you got to make sure that it's mobile optimized and it's fast to load, etc.
Yeah. We work a lot together on that kind of stuff, don't we?
Bane of my life, mobile speed.
So come on, faster. But it's one of those things it's really easy to overlook. Both from a hosting perspective as well as the content side of things. But it really does impact the visibility of the site and how much Google is going to rank it.
So if anyone wants to check how fast their website is, if you go into Google and search for Google Pagespeed Insights, and you just paste your URL into the box, and it'll give you a score out of 100 for desktop and for mobile. Now the benchmark is 80 out of 100. I'm not scoring anywhere near that for my website at the moment, but
it's hard.
you want to try and get as close to that as you can. I don't think it's possible to get a perfect score, although I used to be 80 out of 100 on both, and then whatever Google changes its algorithm, its ranking or whatever it was, and now I'm not anywhere near that, but work in progress.
And I think it can be really hard for content heavy websites to rank very well particularly on the mobile speed side of things, because there's that fine line between user experience and use of imagery and branding, and that brand experience, and just straight delivery of content. Because obviously, if you had a website that was just all text with nothing else, not too many visual cues and kind of branding coming through, then you naturally you will, or you've got a very simple basic website with only a couple of pages, it will rank very well. But then the flip side of that is that you're not generating content that's going to be seen by the search engine. So it's kind of catch-22, and you
catch-22.
Kind of walk that fine line a lot.
Exactly.
Great tips. I'm glad that you mentioned Google, because I think I do agree, people do love social media because it feels very natural, and places like Instagram and Facebook are places where we're naturally hanging out and connecting with other business owners and potential clients. But good idea not to forget good old grandfather Google.
I know. I like grandfather Google. Do you remember there used to be like Yahoo and that back in the day? Like that just fell off the face of the earth. I remember using Yahoo used to be much bigger than Google, and then Google just came in and was like, bye-bye, everybody else.
Absolutely. You are someone who is so kind of high energy and super passionate about what you do, and it's why I think a lot of people are very drawn to kind of working with you. Your passion and your enthusiasm. What's one thing that brings you kind of wonder, or what do you see wonder in every day?
I think what I love about being a business is I get to meet so many amazing business owners like every day. And everybody has a unique story to tell, everyone's at a different stage in their business journey. I find that really interesting. So I love meeting people like yourselves and all the people you're having on the show, through the business communities that I'm part of, because I never would have had access to any of that if I was still trolling away in, corporate in my little booth, hating life, the 9 to 5 grind. So I think what it gives me wonder, because people have just such amazing business ideas, they've got amazing businesses, and it just kind of shows that anything is possible. You just have to make the decision to start and to do it, and back yourself and have faith. And it's important to have a really community behind you as well. So over the weekend, I did a post on Facebook about the fact that I'm being trolled by somebody I know, actually, over the last 2 weeks. So they set up a fake account, and they basically have been trolling my Facebook business page. So this is somebody who bullied me 8 years ago and had to change my phone number and block them off social media. But I guess now I'm a very visible person because I do a lot of content. My business is public. I put a lot of videos out there. So they set up a fake account and were sending me all these vicious messages, but it's the exact same language that they used 8 years ago. So even though they're using a fake account, it's like, I know exactly who you are. So I've been able to ban them from my page and report them, etc., etc. But what I loved was the fact that I did a post. I apologized if anyone had seen the post that they'd written, and everybody just leaned in, has really supported me. My business community has come together to say, we're all here for you. Family and friends from around the world, so it just shows that, people can be disgusting and vile about you, but you know what, you've got people around you supporting, so don't suffer alone behind the screen. Go and tell people and share what's happening, and we've got to stop these online bullies, because it's just pathetic.
Absolutely. And I'm really sorry that you had to that you're going through that, but I think it also shows that, with those people kind of leaning in and supporting you, that and sharing their stories as well. And it's definitely, it's sad to know that you're not alone, but it's nice to know that you're not alone as well, because it can feel so personal, even though that it's someone who's being completely irrational and just has an axe to grind and things like that.
And words are just words, and they're hiding behind a fake name, saying all these words. But I just, he brought my daughter into it. It's like, that's not my daughter's 4.
It's that's never okay. Ever.
Not at all. But I've got an amazing community around me, and we will, fight the bullies and beat them.
100%. All right. Now, I know that you focus a lot on the digital marketing side of things in your business, and that's kind of the main thrust of your business. When you kind of think back to when you were in more traditional marketing versus digital marketing, I guess, what is it that kind of drew you to digital marketing? What do you love most about the digital space?
Yeah, it's funny because back in the Coke days and that, you have these, well, I laugh about it now, I didn't appreciate it at the time, but you've got these multi-million-dollar budgets. I think it was 20 million was the budget at the time for Coke when I worked in New Zealand. So you've got everything at your fingertips then. And really the man with the biggest amount to spend won in the marketplace. But now with digital marketing, you and I can compete with the likes of Coke, because we can, do social media advertising for cheap. We can do, Google ads for cheap. We can do things that go viral. So it's actually the bigger brands that have become a lot more clever, because the smaller man can really compete with them. Those boutique brands can really compete now. So I love the possibilities that digital marketing opens up to small businesses, and we really, have a chance to stand out. And I think as well that, the traditional mediums like TV, radio, and outdoor, they were the 3 things you had your biggest ad spend on. They don't work anymore, and they were always very hard to track. So how can you say how many people saw a billboard or, listen to your ad on a radio station? But digital marketing is so measurable. So you can see where the person is, what age they are, what device they're using, what internet browser they're using. So I love the fact, I do love analytics as well. So I do love that you can track a lot of data about your, your clients, and really use that to make your marketing better. So it's really a lot of opportunities and possibilities for small business, I think.
And I think particularly businesses who are never going to be TVC businesses, because TVCs are so expensive, and again not measurable and all of that. But smaller businesses can so easily create their own video content now. And really, I remember back when I worked at L'Oreal, kind of back in, I started there at like 2011, and people were starting to kind of talk about YouTube replacing TV, and senior executives were just like, that's never going to happen.
Never going to happen.
Never going to happen. I'm like, well, it kind of has now, and it's very, the dynamic and the landscape is very different now. And those barriers to kind of playing in the space are so low. And you see these, smaller brands who might kind of initially gain a lot of their traction on social media through platforms like Facebook and Instagram, that do have much more engaged communities than some of the bigger brands who are kind of maybe a little bit slower to it. And it's so nice to see that people, genuine, people are getting behind smaller brands and really, open and happy to, and their preference is to support smaller as well.
And the thing is, then the bigger brands are trying to go in now and buy all the smaller brands because they have these engaged communities,
Exactly.
But recently I started running a YouTube campaign for a client here who, again, TVC was cost preventative. But they're getting really great results with their YouTube campaign. So I think, YouTube it's another really undertapped resource here in Australia. There's 15 million users online daily in Australia, but people aren't really on it. So get on YouTube, which is another Google tool. YouTube's owned by Google, for those of you who don't know. So the moral of this story is you need to be on Google and YouTube.
Yeah. And you use YouTube for your own business, don't you? You've got your own kind of hot seat series.
Yeah.
And
so I started.
How have you found that? I guess what have you seen kind of change in your business as a result of that?
Well, I guess for me, the marketing hot seat was all about showcasing people who've built really successful businesses here in Perth, and I wanted to really tap into their brains and get advice from them around, what can people do to have the same success as you. So that to me is interesting, because I guess a lot of the content I put out is me talking, to the video. So I thought it would be really interesting to interview other people that weren't me. So, and YouTube's the perfect platform for that because people go to YouTube to spend time there. They don't mind how long a video is. I think when they're on kind of, Instagram, Facebook, maybe you'd be lucky if people watch a 10-minute video, but if it's, YouTube, they'll go and watch those longer form. So we better keep this under 10 minutes. Joking. But YouTube, they'll go and they'll watch an hour or 3 hours or whatever because they're there to view. And a lot of people now don't even watch TV anymore. They go straight to YouTube. And I know I watch a lot of how-to style videos and that type of thing on YouTube. So when I get stuck in anything on my website, I'll go to YouTube. How do I do this in WordPress? But I can't remember what my point was here, but basically it's how I found doing the show. So for me and my business, it just is giving me an extra channel to promote myself through. And it's not really promoting myself, it's promoting my guests, but it's just opened me up to a bigger audience. And really it's going to help with my online program, I guess, mostly for that. And just, again, helps to position me as an expert in the field by bringing these kind of people on my show.
Yeah. And it diversifies your content.
It's a passion project as well.
Yeah.
For me. I love doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining me on my little video show.
You'll have to come on my show next. We'll have to.
I would love
you come on Marketing Hot Seat.
That would be super fun. I would really, really love that. Enjoy the rest of your day, Vanessa. Thank you so much for joining us.
Phone call came through there, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. And thank you to everyone who joined us. The live will be available for the next 24 hours. And I'll also be popping it up on YouTube and IGTV. So all of those places is where you can kind of rewatch all of this goodness. And thank you so much for the beautiful tips. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too. See ya. Bye.
Awesome. Bye.